program The Civil News. Here we are going to discuss the United States-India relation with respect to the United States President's India visit at a glance. As all of you know that the United States President Donald Trump embarked on his Motera Stadium visit to India, became the 7th United States President to visit this country. He was accompanied by a high-level delegations as well as his wife Melania, daughter Ivanka Trump and son-in-law Jared Kushner. He arrived to Ahmedabad on Monday where he addressed a crowd of more than 1 lakh Indians. The event was called the Namaste Trump, reciprocated to the program Howdy Modi, which was hosted last year for the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the United States city Houston. Ties between the two countries have improved greatly after the end of Cold War, during which Washington was leaned towards Pakistan but has impressed India as a strategic partner against China in the recent decades. Barack Obama is the only United States President who has visited India for 2 times officially, but it means that was the official visit. Now, if you see the United States-India relation at a glance, then for this we should go back to the Cold War phase. In 1959, the United States' first president D. Eisenhower visited to India. He came to India during the tenure of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. He received a warm welcome and was greeted with a 21-gun salute. The crowd lined to a street to catch a glimpse of him in his open-top car. Besides delivering a public speech at New Delhi Ramlila Maidan, he addressed both the houses of the parliament. The 4-day trip, including the Taj Mahal visit, the trip was considered as a landmark event in United States-India relations, as he came early in the Cold War phase, during which the United States and Pakistan had become the close allies. Now, after that, Richard Nixon was the second United States President who visited to India. Richard Nixon visited India on 31st July 1959. Unlike Eisenhower, he spent less than a day in India, as the trip was largely meant to reduce the tension between him and the then Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. 2 years later, during the Indo-Pak War of 1971, which led to the creation of Bangladesh, the United States sided with its Cold War ally Pakistan. Nixon had reportedly told the White House that Indians were slippery, precarious people. It means that visit created a sore relations between India and United States. After that, the third United States President who visited to India was Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter visited India in 1978. He came to India in January 1978 in the tenure of Janata Party's Morarji Desai's government. During his 3-day visit, Carter addressed the Indian Parliament and held several meetings with Indian politicians. Carter visited a village near New Delhi and bring a television set as a gift. His visit was meant to break the ice that was frozen between the New Delhi and the Washington, especially against the backdrop of the 1971 Bangladesh War of Independence and India's nuclear test of 1974. However, he was not able to convince Prime Minister Desai to give up India's nuclear ambitions, a development that irritated the United States. After that, Bill Clinton was the 4th United States President who visited to India. He was the 42nd President of United States. He visited to India in March 2000, more than the 2 decades after the last visit by any United States President. His trip during the Prime Ministership of Vajpayee came after a prolonged lull in the relationships between the two countries. He also came after the liberalization of Indian economy in 1990s. Clinton's visit signified the beginning of a close United States and India strategic and economic ties. During the 1999 war between Pakistan and India, the United States under the Clinton sided with India. That was the first time when United States had supported India against the Pakistan. After Bill Clinton, it means at the time of the Bill Clinton, India started to initiate a new relationship with United States in a strategic matter, and the credit goes to the United States then President Bill Clinton. After that, when Bill Clinton came to India, it was the President Bill Clinton who restarted India-United States relations. Before Clinton, no United States President had visited India for 20 years. Clinton in many ways re-engaged with India after India after 2 decades signaled America was taking India seriously once more time for numerous of reasons, as India's nuclear test, economical growth, and so on. After Bill Clinton, George Bush was the next president who visited to India, and he was the fifth president of United States who visited to India. He visited New Delhi on 2006 when the United States was being condemned worldwide for its 2003 invasion of Iraq. His trip was met with country-wide protests, with left-wing parliamentarians boycotting his address. However, the 3 days visit boosted the strategic relationship between the two countries, especially in the matters of trade and nuclear technology. Bush and the then Prime Minister of India, Manmohan Singh, finalized the framework of the nuclear deal that ended the New Delhi's isolation from the nuclear supplier groups. Now, after the nuclear supplier groups market, the United States-India relationship improved exponentially since the early of 1990s and especially since the early of 2000s. It means the India and United States came close to each other after 2000s, the visit of the President Bill Clinton. The Civil Nuclear Accord under the President Bush was a milestone, and from that point, the relationship has really taken off, though it has also been settled by outsized and unmet expectations. Now, we can say that the relationship which was restarted at the time of Bill Clinton was boosted in the tenure of the President George W. Bush. After George W. Bush, Barack Hussein Obama was the next United States President who visited to India, and Barack Obama was the President of United States who visited to India 2 times. First in 2010 in the tenure of the Prime Ministership of Manmohan Singh, and second in 2015 as a chief guest of the Republic Day Parade during the tenure of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. During his visit, Barack Obama landed in Mumbai instead of the New Delhi as a show of solidarity following the Mumbai terror attacks of 2008. During the trip, he backed India's bid for permanent seat in UNSC Council. It means United Nations Security Council, and that was the first time when United States direct supported to India's permanent demand of permanent seat in UNSC. He also signed a trade deal of $10 billion and agreed to boost defense and national security ties. Obama visited India again in 2015 as a chief guest on Republic Day under the administration of Prime Minister Modi. During the trip, the United States President made comment on religious freedom in the country and said India will succeed so long as it is not splintered along the line of religious faith. Now, after that, Donald Trump is the president who came to India on Monday. Donald Trump, the seventh United States president, Donald Trump is the seventh United States president who visited India, where he was given a warm welcome by the Indians. A personal rapport has developed between the Modi and Trump, both of whom have used the theatric of diplomacy to strike a chord with their respective domestic audiences. Now, the United States is the second largest trading partner of India after China, with annual bilateral trade going from $11 billion in 1995 to $142 billion in 2018, according to the official United States data. But the two countries have been wrangling over a trade deal as Trump pushed for more concessions from New Delhi. The main focus of this trip was on all the spectacles and on all the strong chemistry between Trump and Modi. But there is a strategic dimension to it as well. Here we can say that Trump's visit has been a missing piece in the Modi's foreign policy, and this visit has fulfilled this space by coming to India despite the fact that there is only a trade deal. Trump signaled to the rest United States government that he takes the United States-India relationship seriously, and he expects them to move forward on other issues, be it defense or be it diplomacy. For as an example, we can see that the United States President Donald Trump has offered India M60 Romeo helicopters and 6 Apaches. Besides it, Donald Trump told that he will try to make a new strategic relation between India, Japan and Australia with the help of an old formula which is known as Quad, to counter China in the Indo-Pacific region. It means finally we can say that this visit of the United States President is good for India to expand its foreign policy in Indo-Pacific region against China and any other threat which is against India. Now, I'm going to winding up this lecture. We will meet back later with new topic. Until then, thank you.